All right, guys, you don't have to raise your hands, but I'm sure some of you at some point have been speeding, maybe even gotten pulled over for speeding in New Jersey. No one here. So it's happened to me a couple times. And here's what we've learned, that the state speed limits, local roads, state roads, they are essentially set by politicians and bureaucrats. And a lot of people are starting to say, the speed limits are really designed as revenue generators for local communities, and that's why the speed limit is different from town to town, area to area, even though sometimes the roadway is the same. Well, there's one politician who is crusading to change that. His name is Declan O'Scanlon, and he's with us today. Declan, thanks for joining me.
I prefer statesman to politician.
I think I called you the politician of common sense this morning on the radio.
Which I completely
good,
concur
right?
with, yes.
So,
who am I to argue? When
there you go,
says
right?
It,
if I said it, it might be true. So the top speed limit in New Jersey, the Turnpike, the Parkway, 65 miles an hour. You think it ought to be higher?
Well, not necessarily. I think engineers ought to set speed limits. And engineers would tell you, you set speed limits based on the overall prevailing flow of traffic, 85th percentile. We don't have to go into the details of that. But it's the speed at or below which 85% of people are traveling. That is your best speed limit.
Okay, I'm ready.
We spent some time with you. Diana Blass and I drove around in your car. We spent an hour in Monmouth County looking at speed limits from 25 to 40 and then 40 down to 25 and uncovered probably a dozen speed traps.
25.
Look at this road. The whole length is 25. It's wide open. There are some houses on the right. There's industrial office on the left.
Industrial, though.
It's mainly industrial. We're already doing 35.
Look at that side.
It's
so boom. You're sitting right there and they're hitting you.
And yeah, sometimes they'll sit there. We all should be able to say, well, look, conditions are the same. The speed limit should be the same. You have a 25-mile-an-hour limit in one town and a 45-mile-an-hour limit in another. You shouldn't have to guess. You've got great sight lines. You've got sidewalks both sides. You can see kids playing if there are any. You see driveways. Driving between 40 and 45 miles an hour on this street, as judged by the overwhelming majority of traffic, is perfectly safe.
I would think that you're not advocating at all to increase speed limits in residential areas. There's still going to be some places where you should be going 25. Well, it's a heavily residential area.
Engineers will tell you, you don't dictate speeds based on random signs. You actually post the speed limit based on what people would drive on a street just naturally.
Just a couple months ago, they lowered the speed limit in Manhattan, the entire borough of Manhattan, to 25 miles per hour. When you enter the borough of Manhattan, it is 25 miles per hour. Whether it's ridiculous or not, it's part of Vision Zero, and I think there's some comfort in that.
On battles like this, you're 1 for 1. You were like this one-man crusade against the red light cameras. David against Goliath. You won. So let's see how you do.
We
Keep us posted.
There's a lot of bipartisan support, so we may have a good shot at this.
Good luck.
Thanks,
I love
guys.
it.